All right, so again, we're reviewing how to write linear equations. We've already looked at how to write it from a table. Please see a previous video if you need some help with that. Now we're going to look at how do I write it from a graph. So just like before, I'm going to do an example. As I'm doing my example, you're going to do yours. So I'm going to do example 3 as I do mine. You're going to do example 4. So again, please don't put in what I'm putting in the calculator. Put in your version of the question. Okay, so again, we could do this by hand, which you've again learned in middle school, but I'm going to focus on to make sure you know how to use the tool, the calculator. So looking at the notes for this, it says hint, start at the far left part of the graph of the, which is called the line. This is the graph. So the line, the red line right here is the graph, and follow it until you get to a corner. And I'll go over what a corner is. That will be the coordinate you can record. And then you're going to write down 2 points in the table and follow the steps in the previous video. So really the new step here is just find 2 points from this graph slash line. All right, so that's what I need to do. So I'm going to come to my question because you're doing that one. And to kind of help you understand as to what I'm looking for as a corner is this line is going to go through the corner of a box. I'm just going to call it a box for lack of a better word. So you see how it goes 1, 1. So this is a box right here. And what I want you to do as I do this example, you're going to do your example, is I want you to draw a box anywhere you see the line. So following the line, starting on the left, and I think yours starts up here. So starting up here for you, you're going to draw a box around anything the red line goes through. So I can see there's a box right here, like that. Okay, so there's a box there. The line also goes through this area right here, so I'm going to draw a box there. Okay, the line also goes through this area, so I'm going to draw a box there. All right, the line also goes through this area right here, so I'm going to draw a box there. And so you're drawing boxes on yours as I do it on mine. It goes through this area right here, so I'm also going to draw a box there. It goes through this area right here, so I'm going to draw a box there. And through this area right here, I'm going to draw a box there and kind of complete it. And the question says, or the notes say, what you're going to do is you're going to follow it until you get to a corner. So think of the box right here. What are the corners of the box? So the corner of the box is right. Oops, let's not use that. Let's just use a different color and kind of highlight it. The corner of the box is there, 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 there. It's where the box changes direction. Okay, so those are the corners. So now looking at all these boxes that I've drawn, where does this red line pass through one of the corners? Okay, so again, here's a corner. In fact, on yours, go ahead and just draw the corners on every single box. It's going to help you visualize it so that you don't have to draw it every single time. Okay, so again, please put like a dark dot on the corners of your box. So where does that red line hit one of the dots we just drew? Right there. And that's the coordinate that you're writing down. So you're going to record it in your table here. And I don't have a table, so I'm just going to write it down on the side. So I have X and then I have Y. So my first dot that it goes through is 0 on the X and then 2 on the Y. So 0, 2. All right, find another corner that it goes through. So where does this line hit another dot? It doesn't hit any dots yet. Here's a dot right here. And what's that coordinate? Remember, coordinates must be X and then Y. So this X is 1 and the Y is 5. And all I need is 2 points, okay? So once you find the 2 points, the notes say that you just need to follow the steps from a table. What were the steps from the table? I don't remember. No worries. That's why you have notes until you can get this into your memory. Now, the key thing is to keep deleting the calculator so you can do a whole bunch of repetitions so that this can get into your memory. So it says top left, click plus sign. Then it says click table. So I'm following the notes right here. Type y equals mx plus b on 2 separate lines. Actually, it says input your table. Be sure to double check your numbers are right. All right, so my numbers, and again, you're putting in your numbers. My numbers are 0, 2, and 1, 5. And then I'm going to type in y equals mx plus b 2 times. So y equals mx plus b. And just like the last video, we're going to highlight it, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. So once I've done it twice, on the first one, there are 2 things I need to change. Because remember, you're trying to tell the calculator, hey, use this table, give me the equation. Well, this table is not labeled X or Y. It's labeled X1 and Y1. And sometimes it's labeled X2, Y2 or X3, Y3. Make sure you're using whatever it's labeled. So basically, where I see an X, I need to put X1. Where I see a Y, I need to put Y1. So I'm going to come right here and just type 1. It's going to automatically make it sub 1, and on the x as well, boom. So that's the first thing I need to change. The second thing I need to change, because obviously you can see it doesn't give me an answer, is for whatever reason it does not like the equal sign. It wants you to put the squiggly line. So again, the squiggly line is tilde, and you're going to do shift, and then right underneath the escape key is the tilde. But I'll give you a visual on this one. If you click ABC, if you come down here, that is a tilde. As soon as you do a tilde, it goes ahead and graphs it for you. And remember, like in the previous video, you need to check that it's graphed that correctly. So we're going to hit zoom fit so we can see my 2 points, because right now I can only see this green dot right here. So if I zoom fit, you see it puts it in perspective, and yes, it goes through both of my points. So I have done this part correctly. The last part is on the second one, replace the numbers m and plus b with from the equation. So m is the number 3, and b is the number positive 2, so it'll be plus 2. And again, if this was minus 1, you'd write minus 1. Again, the red line hits the black line and the 2 dots. So again, everything, I can be assured that this is done correctly because it all matches up in my calculator. All right, so now I followed the steps, which means I have everything I need to answer this question. So if I'm writing an equation from a graph, my answer is y equals 3x plus 2 for my question. And again, remember, you're doing yours. All right, this was by hand, so I am just going to do it by hand real quick. Y equals mx plus b. We found the slope to be 3. And where it crosses the y-intercept, we found it to be 2. But even without looking at the calculator, we can also look at the graph where it crosses the y-axis. So this is the y-axis right here, and the red line touches the y-axis or crosses the y-axis at 2. So you can look at the calculator, or you can physically look at the graph. Now that you're replacing both m and b in your final answer to write the equation, you're going to get y equals 3x plus y equals 3x plus 2. And again, I can kind of confirm a few things using our steps from the last one. If I press that, hit settings, hit table, I can match up my coordinates. So remember, I had 0, 2 as one, and I had 1, 5 as another. And there's another one at 2, 8, but there's not enough graph here to see. But I can look at different points to make sure that it does match what I need. Let's practice.